Right, so for class, we missed a review today. I just wanted to go through the chapter really quick, kind of give you an idea of what to anticipate for the upcoming exam that we have on Thursday, so that you know specifically what to study. So, you'll notice in chapter one we covered descriptions and we worked on past, present, and future, along with some pronouns. All right. So, along with each of these sections, such as describing people, you can anticipate pictures of people that you have to describe. They may be in color, which means that if you have a picture of someone with blue eyes and blonde hair, you should be able to describe them. And here we have some information that will allow us to do that. As far as physical characteristics go, we also need to be able to describe someone's character. There might be some really specific pictures on the test that would allow you to give you enough information to where you could describe more than likely what their character is like. Also, with describing people, some basic things that people do throughout their daily routine might be some of these things. Again, you could anticipate some pictures where you are to describe um, what these people are doing um, as being part of their overall description. So, if you were to see, for example, a picture of a person that is um, has long dark hair and brown eyes running, and you're asked to describe them, you might be asked specifically to describe their physical characteristics, which you could say that they have straight, long hair. Um, so there's the word for long. Or if they have short hair, pelo corto. The word for hair is pelo. There we go, up here. So short hair, long hair, straight, curly, whatnot, eye color. And to describe their character, I might say that they are active, so activo, right? And then I might say that they run, so él or ella corre, right? So see how a picture of a person running in color could require a bit of description on your part. So be able to describe people, okay? Oftentimes, when we describe people, we talk about work. There may be a picture of someone in a work environment, a doctor or a nurse, for example, um, where you would say something to the effect of he or she works a lot. Or you might see a picture of a waiter and you have to say who that person is. So you would say él or ella es una mesera. So here's waiter or waitress. Okay. And then a work-related action. So you might say la mesera sirve. So she serves um, la comida a las personas. Okay. So something to that effect. Um, so study about work. Sorry, I'm feeling a little bit sick, so it was actually nice not to have to go to class today. All right. All right, and then there was a little bit of information on conversation. Study a little bit on weather, basic things that we might say in school. So these phrases here. Okay, so ¿cuántos años tiene? ¿De dónde es? A lot of these we've seen. There might be a couple of new ones. So take a little bit of time, study these questions and answers. Fair game. All right. We had our regular verbs. We shouldn't have to study those at all, but you might take a look at them to review, make sure you remember them. Some of our stem changing verbs, likewise, we should know them. Irregular verbs, same thing, and reflexive verbs. All in the present tense, we should know these guys. We should be able to express things that are happening in progress. Again, if we had a picture of a person running, in this section, we would say something to the effect of él or ella está corriendo. Right? We had the past tense, preterite, and imperfect. Okay. So with the preterite, we may have a picture that we have to describe. And next to that picture, we might see the word ayer or la semana pasada, so yesterday or last week. Then we have to give some information about that picture, about what happened either yesterday or last week. All right, and so the preterite, you can review that, but used to express past actions that are seen as completed. There are some examples there. We have a few irregulars to watch out for. Good to know these. Some of these are high frequency words in the past or in the preterite. A couple of words to watch out for that have a change in meaning in the preterite. Study those. Right, then we get into the imperfect. And we learned that the imperfect is used to express actions that are not seen as being completed in the past. Then there were some specific rules to watch out for. So ongoing past actions, used to or would do something, emotional states, feelings or emotions, time, age, characteristics, etc. So review those. You might go back to your notes or look up examples online or YouTube. We've got our imperfect conjugations, our abas and ias. Okay, so know those. And then we have a table here that kind of gives examples breaking down different uses of the preterite and imperfect. Okay, so again, in this section, you may have some pictures and with some prompts next to them, such as used to, telling you to express what these people used to do or would do. You might have a picture of a birthday cake with a number 4 on it that says ayer next to it. So you might say yesterday she had a birthday party. Well, I would probably go more basic than that, but you get the idea. Okay. So I'm going to give you a picture with a prompt that will tell you whether to use the preterite or the imperfect and test your knowledge of that. So study the preterite and imperfect. We also learned covered the future tense. We spoke about the two ways of expressing the future with ir or the future conjugation. So to express the future with ir, right? So make sure you know these conjugations. We've got some examples here expressing future and destination with ir. And then we've got the future conjugation, as, a, hemos, and an, which we add to the end of the verb. Again, we've got some examples here. Watch out for some irregulars. Again, going with the whole picture theme, you might have future slash will written next to a picture, and you have to express what they will do. A picture of somebody eating at a restaurant with the title future or will next to it. You might say something to the effect of él or ella comerá. Okay. If that same picture of someone eating has future slash ir next to it, then you would say something to the effect of él or ella va a comer. All right. So I'm going to go off of our basic list of verbs. So try and stick to what we know. And at the end of this book, there should be a list of verbs. Sure enough, these are the verbs that I'm going to be focusing on for past, present, and future. Okay? Let's see. So we've got that. See if I can get back to where it was. That should be it. Oh, we had our pronouns. You might have some fill-in-the-blank sentences where you have to replace a direct object or an indirect object with a pronoun. So some examples of this. Okay. So notice the example here, yo los como. This would be the answer. The question that you would have on the test might be something to the effect of yo como los tacos. Then you'll have to rewrite it, and then you'll rewrite it as yo los como. All All right, so direct object pronouns. Indirect object pronouns, similarly, you might have something to the effect of yo dije a María, and then you're expected to plug in an indirect object pronoun. You would plug in the le right there. So yo le dije a María. Looking at number 3 here, Tomás escribió a ellos. And then you would have to rewrite that. Simply plug in the indirect object pronoun. Tomás les escribió a ellos. All right, so pretty straightforward. Double object pronouns, we might have a couple of these. I don't want to make them a focus, but they are good to know. You can study using the indirect with the direct. You'll notice the color-coded examples here. You might have a sentence with both a direct and indirect object pronoun in the, direct and indirect object in the sentence, and you have to replace them both. So read through the instructions on this one and the examples. There should be enough information there. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. Say, hey, I'm studying. What about this example? I had a question on whether to use say or lay. And I can help you out that way. All right, so study your pronouns. Other than that, that was chapter 1, a huge portion of Spanish 1, 2, and 3. We will wrap that up with our next chapter, with our review of Spanish 1, 2, and 3. I really wish we could have had class today so that we could have practiced some of this. We had a really good lesson planned for today. I do want to start doing verbal portions to our exams. I think that given that we had a snow day, that we will not do that on this test, so we will simply do a written portion to this exam. All right, again, if you have any other questions, feel free to shoot me an email. Otherwise, study the material here, and there's a link to this this material in Canvas. So study up and email questions. We'll talk to you later. Bye now.